So I question why we need to buy TVs when we can just draw one. See, I have a texter. I can just walk up, just draw a TV. I'll put a little aerial above it. I think they've normally got legs, haven't they, these days? I can just walk up with my mobile device and I can just turn it on. So why do we need to buy them when we can just draw them? Crazy, isn't it? I drive around the streets, I see all these old computers, all these old TVs just on the nature strip, and I'm thinking, God, there must be so much waste. I drive up to the recycle centre here in Bendigo, and I'm driving around these walls of TVs. I'm thinking, God, well, I could just probably put that through the shredder. See, what you've just experienced is what's known as augmented reality. And augmented reality puts digital components in the real world to make it, to enrich it. So what I'm going to do is show you a little bit of augmented reality, but then we're going to dig a bit deeper. So the first thing is, what I just used then was a tool called Mateo. Mateo is an SDK, or a program, that reads images and converts them into digital assets. Imagine if you were reading the paper and you thought, oh, I haven't really got time to kind of read it. I wonder whether or not I could just watch it. Well, another great tool is called Erasmus. Erasmus allows me to hold it over an article in the paper.
G'day, I'm Angus Burley and I'm a journo at the Northern Times in
I'm watching the newspaper.
I'm here with Tim Gentle, who's delivering the digital.
It's crazy, and if I want to know more, I can just click it, and it takes me to the website to enrol in the course that I was talking about in the video. So I've gone from reading the newspaper to watching it, to touching it, to then enrolling in the course, and it's just like, what? I mean, imagine you go to Girton and you get given the headmaster's report. And you go, oh, Matthew, I'm sure you've got a lot to say, and I'm happy to try and read it. But I wonder if I could just watch it.
Welcome to the Headmaster's Report to the Community for 2013. And what a year it has been in 2013. I challenge the staff at the start of this year to be innovative. And as an example of that, you're watching now what we call Girton augmented reality. It's the next step in QR technology, and for us, from a pedagogical point of view, it will flip the classroom and the level of interaction.
You can imagine where we're going with this. So let's take it a step further. We're thinking of buying a house, and we have some floor plans. Here they are, floor plans. But it'd be really nice to actually see that house, what it would potentially look like. So we hold our device over the top, and it augments the house. And if we want to, we can go in, take the roof off, have a little bit of a look there. Maybe we could go inside, have a little look. But what if we go one step further, we go down into the lower level? And so here you can see it's augmenting the piece of paper. It's bringing a digital feed into reality. So that's kind of an architectural, sort of industrial approach. I wonder whether we could maybe take it a bit further, and what about from a medical point of view? See, as students, when I went to school, we were probably given something like that. Potentially we watched a video. But there's a new technique called 4D, not just 3D, 4D, where we can immerse ourselves into this digital world and interact with it. This is known as anatomy. Check this one out. I've got a heart beating here on my table. I can interact with it. Moving my fingers now. If I want to have a look just at the blood flow, I can turn that off. I can have a look at the left and right. And I'm able to interact with this heart. Gives another meaning to the word, put your hand in, what is it, the heart in your hand? Something like that. But that's just astonishing. But you know, that's the medical side of this digital world coming into our reality. What about our kids? I mean, we always like to have a little bit of fun. We're a little bit serious. So there's a cool little app called Colour AR. Now, when I was young, I used to just colour things in and that was it. But now, my little 3-year-old coloured that in. She goes, Daddy, Daddy, can you bring that to life? Yeah, sure. It's pretty crazy. I mean, it even eats the worm. And if you notice, it actually picks up the colours that the, little Zoe coloured in. It's incredible stuff. So what you notice there where, okay, things aren't what they seem. This is kind of recognised as digital assets. So from a commercial point of view, if the newspaper had an app and you were reading stories, the video overlay would be known as a digital asset. So for the commercial people, think about your product and what digital assets you could add to the physical product. If there's 2 toys on the counter and one has augmentation as associated, maybe it's a car of some nature, which one do you get? They're both $20, but this one has digital assets. Think about it. So let's go a little bit further. Let's keep exploring. So presently, we're using devices like this to augment. Okay? But I've just come back from overseas, and I had the pleasure of going to the Augmented World Expo, where I was almost like time warped ahead about 2 or 3 years. It was a lot of fun. This particular headset, just zoom in a little bit there, you can see that there's an iPhone sitting in that headset. So we've got this iPhone kind of sitting here, but it's reflecting into those glasses and giving me a sort of a hologram effect. So suddenly I wasn't even using my hands. I was walking around with my iPhone and I'm just like, yeah, okay, I look like a bit weird. But at the same time, it sort of opened up this whole other idea because we want to use our hands. I mean, I'm trying to read the newspaper and I'm holding this device. It's just not that convenient. But at the moment, it's this technology that's in our hands that we're limited to. Now let's go a little bit further. This is the Epson Motivia BT200. There's about 15 of these on the market. This one in particular goes down into a cord into an Android device which powers the augmented virtual reality apps, whatever you're running on your device, but it puts it in front of you. So when you're looking through the glasses, you kind of see this, here I'm repairing an air conditioner and it's overlaying digital instructions on how to fix it. So I've got both hands and I'm with screwdrivers and I'm fixing it and, I'm not holding a device. But I went a little bit further. Suddenly, I had this sort of digital feed in front of me, but then we have this thing called interaction or immersion. And this is the Elite 1, which allows me to touch those digital assets. So I'm able to move and touch and move them. And so suddenly, I've got these digital assets in front of me and I've got the real world and then I've got these digital assets which I can move. And there's some amazing products coming on the market where almost like pottery, you can carve these 3-dimensional products and then you can pick it up and put it into a 3D printer. Think of the possibilities. Instead of, sitting there and, I introduced this to Bendigo pottery. I sort of said, you better watch this. This is kind of this virtual pottery that's coming through, and we're putting it onto a 3D printer. But, I like to dig in a bit deeper. Can't just stop there. I wonder whether or not, you're sitting there watching the TV. I wonder whether or not we could step inside the TV. Like we're kind of sitting at home and wonder what it'd be like to be at that, band or that game or, so let's explore that. So, pretend I'm in my lounge room. I'm sitting here. I've got my glasses on by now. Okay. Thank you very much, Con. And we've got the train pulling up to the station. There it is. So that's a feed. Now, I'm watching the train and I'm thinking, oh, that's cool. I'd love to be able to step onto that. So, let's move closer. We'll keep going in. The door opens. And, well, let's step inside the TV. And so now, it didn't work, but that's okay. This particular app, just occasionally when I have to reboot it, so I'll be 3 seconds on that. Got a few other examples. I'll just bring that back up. I had it preloaded, which can cause a little bit of trouble occasionally. Suddenly, I'm in the train. I mean, seriously, I'm inside the TV now. And I may as well just walk through here and have a little look inside the train. So I've gone from my lounge room to inside this virtual world, this train. It's just bizarre. So normally I'm just sitting watching a TV, but now I get to step inside the TV and suddenly I'm in this virtual world and I'm going, wow, okay. So I'd like to sort of take it a step further and think about, well, suddenly our world becomes almost like a blend of the digital world with the real world. And we're kind of immersing ourselves and stepping here and things are in front of us and they're not what they seem, and is that tree real? And it really, really can take it a step further. So I wonder, what if you could have other people on the train? We're going on a train, but it's a bit lonely. It'd be nice to talk to people while you're on the train. So, I've always had this desire to be a teacher one day, and I thought, well, why don't we go and pretend to go on a field trip? So I've got some great helpers to come out and help me. So welcome, Zoe. And it was Caden. Thank you, Caden. So I've just gone down to Kmart and bought ourselves some glasses. There you go. There you go. And, I'm going to pretend I'm a geography teacher in a Geography 101. Good morning, class. I've always wanted someone to say that. Good morning, kids. All right, so today, guys, we're going to be doing a little bit of geography. Obviously, you're in the Geography 101. I thought we'd start by, going over and having a look at Rome. Have you ever been to Rome before? No? Okay, well, hang on. Let's go. So the students would be able to see this digital feed. The students would be able to see this digital feed. You're seeing what they would see. Okay, we're just role-playing here today. All right, guys, you ready to go and have a look? Let's do it. All right, jump up. I'll just bring that up. Now, can you see up there? Yeah, see that? It's a bit on a bit of an angle, sorry, guys. But that one there, that's the... that says the Arch of Semus. Can't actually get the spelling there, but anyway, I'm not a very good teacher. Over here, have a look at that over there, Zoe. That is absolutely beautiful. Can you see that? That's a lovely, and that's the Temple of Concordia. Oh, wow. All right, so make sure you remember those things. I'm going to be quizzing you tomorrow on that. Grab a seat. All right, so, we've gone to Rome. That was a bit of fun. But have you ever been to San Francisco? You'd like to? Now, just think, they're students. We're about to go to San Francisco. I'm a travel agent. They're potentially thinking of going to San Francisco. Just role play this, depending on how you want to think about it. All right, guys, we're going to go to San Francisco. I just got back, actually. I just ran across the Golden Gate. I'd love to show you what it was like. So, yeah, let's have a little bit of a look. Hop up. Now over there, that's the Golden Gate. Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Over the back there, that's where you catch the ferry. All right, so you don't want to miss the ferry. It goes twice a day. I love having a look at the sunrise over here. I mean, that is just to die for, isn't it? Yeah. All right, you love that? Yeah, good. Grab a seat. And just to end off today, I thought I'd do one of the first things that Bendigo has ever seen. You know, we have a lovely climate here. You know, occasionally we have summer, it's occasionally a bit cold. But what you just witnessed was almost like you could see the virtual world, but you kind of didn't feel like you were in it. So I thought, well, why don't we turn the temperature down a little bit and make it snow? You guys ever been to the snow? You may have been to the snow before. Have you been to the snow? You haven't. Zoe, well, you're just about to. All right? We're going to make it snow here in Bendigo. Ooh, that could go. All right, jump up. And so now, have a look at all that. That's crazy there. They've got all the snow on them. You're not too cold over there, girls? No? Okay, we'll make it a snowstorm. And so these kids would be able to feel like they're in the snow. Can you feel the snow? Look at that. Gets everywhere, doesn't it, Zoe? You're not too cold, are you? Crazy stuff. So they're immersed in the digital world and the real world, and soon they'll be able to touch it, maybe smell it, maybe move it, do whatever. They might not even know it's not real, and that's the scary thing. Thank you so much for your help, guys. That's brilliant. So I'm going to leave you with these final thoughts. Our world could be a digital world, could just be a virtual world. You may never want to come back. You might like where it snows. You might like San Francisco. Scary thought, but just think about one thing. Imagine the possibilities of what you've seen today and what you could do with it. Thank you.